Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the reason why the vaccine was created in the first place. Now, we know any numbers these folks give are going to be bogus. They don't give us real numbers. They don't give us real numbers on anything, especially if they don't look good in the whole thing, then you're never going to get real numbers by default. Okay, they have to look better than all the other groups, or otherwise don't give the numbers out at all. But the real reason why the vaccine was created is because of this. And you remember when I did my video, they said the Neanderthal gene is more susceptible to getting COVID. And we know we don't have the Neanderthal gene at all. We don't have it, right? So this is why there was a rush to get a vaccine done. We know they don't do nothing on the behalf of us at all, especially for our health. They're not about to lift a finger over that. And we got a 500-year history to prove it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this site, let me show you which site this is. Statista, update every single month. And this number has been going up consistently every month. And to be honest with you, I think it's more like 70%. I really do. But, just to save face and make it seem like it's not that bad when it really is that bad, because that's the game they're playing through the propaganda. They're trying to make you believe things are not that bad when they really are, you know? And see, this is why these folks are not good to lead, because if it's not in their favor, they don't want to tell you, which to me is a very big danger to the rest of the public and even within their own group. Because, like I said, if you want to see who's really dying of COVID, instead of listening to all the propaganda coming out of mainstream news, start picking up the obituary. The obituaries, one thing about the obituaries, they're not going to lie. You got an obituary in there, your ass is really dead. Okay. Somebody then came over, picked up the body, and you are setting up that funeral. Usually, when you're going through the stage of setting up the funeral, that's when the obituary is done. And when you look at many of the obituaries, it's like a combination of young and old white people that are the majority in there. You may see a few of our people sprinkled in there, and you know what they died of, because in many of the obituaries, they just write right in there. If they had a battle with cancer, they'll write that in. If they had heart problems, they'll write that in. If the person had COVID, they will write that in too. And we are just not seeing a lot of us in those obituaries. We're not. We're not. And early on, I showed y'all the obituaries in the Boston Globe. And those obituaries are actually nationwide. Those weren't just people up in Massachusetts, those were people from several different states in the country. And it was 16 pages long. And out of those 16 pages, it was barely that many of us in there. And they publish the obituaries in the local newspaper here is the same thing. You will see a lot of white people that died of COVID, and you might see the most about 3 of us in there. And this is why it's this rush to get everything done. They want this virus vaccine given to everybody, and we're going to get back to normal in the summer, which is unrealistic. Go look at the history of vaccines. And by the way, the inoculation, that was the creation of a black man. I did a video on that probably back in 2017. So now the first vaccines are rarely that effective. And you can look this up yourself. First vaccines are rarely effective. Okay, so back to this. So the first vaccine is rarely, it's never effective. You can even go and look at the history of vaccines. Usually, the first vaccine is the weakest that comes out. They will tweak it and make changes to it, and it gets better over time, but it is never that great when it first comes out. And these folks, number one, the fact that they don't live in reality, wait until summer comes and they're still battling COVID and even worse. Just wait. See, I know 2021 is going to be worse than 2020. You can just look at how everything is going and look at how we're going in to 2021. We're going into 2021 with a pandemic, and a lot of things are going on that are just not flowing right in the country. Now, any number they put out for us is always by default going to be fake. This is an article that came out in The Guardian, and the US Census has admitted from day one they have never counted the Black population right. They have never counted us right. So they're saying that we have been undercounted by 9%. So, they've been harping on that 13% of the population forever now. And as you can see, the biggest miscount is always among the Black. Okay. And the other groups, they miscount, but it's never as big as the miscount they have on the Black community. And trust me, that is by design. They're deliberately doing this. It's all propaganda. It's all brainwashing, y'all. We are way bigger than what they're telling us. You would have to be a fool to believe anything that comes from these folks at this point in time. But unfortunately, we have people that do truly believe them. And they will do videos and say, we are 13% of the population. Says who? Them? Them? The high IQ told you that? And you believe it? No. It's all a head game. It's propaganda. If they make you believe and convince that you're this little speck on the map, then they can control you. But see, if we knew the true number, they know we would never in a million years listen to anything they have to say again. And that's what they fear. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, just like everything else, the truth is going to come out. And anything that they're telling you, you're going to realize it's all fake. Now, look who gets the least miscount. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. You can't believe we're getting real numbers. So when they tell us we're disproportionate by what? You're not even giving us real numbers on our side. So don't take that to heart. I don't. And you shouldn't either. Don't take any of that stuff to heart. We're never going to get the truth. These people are going to try to control us at all costs. Okay? Their future depends on that. Once they lose control of us, all is lost. And that's what they're trying to prevent by all these undercounts. And in 2020, the US Census, they couldn't get around to everybody. And the what they say, people of color going to be undercounted. Well, you've been doing that for centuries. This is nothing new. And you're doing it deliberately at this point. It don't take all these, the U.S. Census has been around since 1790, and they're still undercounting us from 1790 all the way up until now. Come on, y'all. They're doing this mess on purpose. You would have to be a fool not to see it. So just come out to this site because they update every month. And the biggest jump is going to be right here. That's going to be the biggest jump in the country. Just come out and check every month. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.